Hi, Brett. So nice to be back with you. Now, we wanted to give you a week or so to get back and acclimate back to the US time here. What a trip you had there going to New Zealand. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. It was a really good time with a bunch of great people.
Now, we caught up with you back in February, of course, when the announcement came out. The year has gone so fast. I don't know for you, but we're already back here in November. It was like we're talking, hey, congratulations, you're going to represent the US till you've done it. You've been there. Now, let's talk about the colors, right? We did a little, everyone picked the colors for you to wear. Now, after you were seen there on social media, consensus said, hey, I think you could have a little bit of a side gig modeling if you needed to. But I know it meant so much to you to wear those colors in the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it did. Those colors came out really good. I was really happy the way they came out. I'm happy with the fans' decision on which one to take. And for the people who think I have a modeling career, they just need to talk to the people at USTA who have really good Photoshop.
Well, I guess I do. I don't know about that, but yeah, we were so happy to have you with them. And but hey, what an adventure! Who'd you take with you when you went down under?
I actually went by myself.
You did. What was the decision for that? You're just like you wanted to just kind of check it out, or you just couldn't find anyone that you could steal away for 10 days.
I had a best friend back home who I was going to bring with me, and then he was just, it's so much time to get away from work, and it was hard for him to get those dates off. And then like with my family, they have so many horses back home. It's
Right.
really hard to kind of get away from that. So I wasn't really that upset about going by myself because you get to experience a country and you're with a great group of people anyway, and it didn't matter.
Well, two things I noticed over there, two of them, many things, should I say. But hey, the weather looked beautiful, right? A little different weather over there this time of year than we're coming into here in the US, but it looked like you had a lot of fun. You made some new friends.
Yeah, I did. The weather was beautiful. I tell you what, the first track we raced at Kokora, I mean, that's got to be one of the most beautiful tracks I've ever seen. You look to the right when you hit the backside and you just see a blue ocean.
When you talk about the tracks and the places you raced at, now there were 10 drivers combined, 20 heats at five different tracks. Talk about a whirlwind. How'd you handle it all?
Tell you what, I struggled at the start of it. I mean, you could say I didn't have much horsepower, but I still wasn't really driving that great. It was tough to get used to the style of driving, but towards the end, I was getting the hang of it. And at the end of the day, it was still a fun time, regardless of the outcome.
But when we talk about it, you finished eighth overall. Now, those that know you, I don't know you all that well, but just from doing a couple interviews with you, we know how competitive you are. Now, I know you were probably over there beating yourself up those first couple heats, but it came right, like you said, later in the game, you caught on.
Yeah, I did. I caught on towards the style in the end, and I had a little bit more horsepower towards the end. But I'm very competitive, so it was tough to not take the results at the start to heart.
Now, when you talk about some of the challenges from track to track, five different tracks in such a short amount of time, were there any challenges for you kind of acclimating to each different one?
Uh, Probably for most, I just had a great group of guys I met there from New Zealand that kind of like helped me with all the tracks we went to, kind of told me the horses I was driving and gave me pretty good insight that way.
Now, when you compare the racing from down under to over here in the US, what would you say are some of the biggest differences?
Oh, polar opposite. I In the US, like every track, especially like either Meadowlands or it's always just go. As soon as the gate opens, I mean, you can go 27, 54, 121 and go a mile and 48. You're never slowing down. There, you have to like strategically position yourself when they're going slow. And none of the tracks we raced at had teletimers. So like you have to really have a good mental clock in your head and like a good feel for tempo. And over there, you'll see people make three wide moves to be parked first over, or as they call it, in the breeze. And that seems to be a good place to be because it's just very different that way.
Now, you had one win, and it wasn't Heat 14, as you said. You kind of caught on a little bit. It was a little bit later on, but you had the one win. You had a few seconds, right? But after that win, now we saw the interview. We had to bleep you, right? We had to bleep you. But I think you were just so excited. Take us take us through that first thought when you crossed the finish line with the win.
Yeah, I've done hundreds of interviews and I've never had an issue. I'd actually like to think I'm actually usually a pretty good speaker that way. And I don't know what happened. Everyone was yelling in the background, and I had so many people cheering for me, and I had so much emotion. I think I just let one out.
That's all right. We love seeing the emotion over there. We know you were excited. The pride you had to feel, though, being over there holding up that American flag. What was it like?
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, that's still one of my favorite photos. It's actually the background to my phone on this photo. I mean, I just think it's the coolest photo.
Yeah, and then I mean, it had to mean that so much to you for sure.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who gets to put the U.S. colors on, it's always an honor, and especially if you look at, even though we haven't still been able to get the win, if you look at the prior people we've sent, they're all phenomenal, phenomenal drivers.
But like you said, it is such a challenge. Now the win went to James McDonald representing Canada, our bordering rival country, but that's okay. He's a great guy, and I know you were super happy for him.
Yeah, I congratulated James right after. He's a phenomenal talent.
Now, what do you think is your biggest learning experience that you took away from the whole thing?
In my opinion, those drivers have such a different level of like horsemanship than I think a majority of us have here. Like we get so accustomed to like racing 3,000 times a year and never having a time to think, where those guys, they might race 1,000 times a year, but they help the people after the race on hook. They even, I've seen a lot of the drivers help them completely like strip the horse down, still talk to them, give feedback, and they also have like a very good feel for tempo. Like I talked to Dexter about it when I came back. I was like, like you guys just have a very good like feel for pace, and if you ever watch him drive, you always see him make the right moves before they slow down instead of someone making a move after they slow down. Like they just have very good mental clocks in their head.
Now, of all the not including the racing, but you got to do some really cool things. They kept you guys really busy throughout the 10 days. Is there one memory that really sticks out that you'd love to share with us here in the US that you experienced?
Yeah, the training on the beach. Training on the beach was probably the coolest thing I've done. I mean, if you get to wake up and do that every morning, there's no way you hate your job. I mean, that was awesome.
Now, Brett, we want to thank you so much for your time. We were so proud to have you over there. And I know it was, only the one win, but it felt like so much more to us over here. And we're so happy that you were over there representing the US. And we wish you continued success, as it's been another great year for you as you're ending another great year here in 2025.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brett, so much for your time. And we'll look forward to catching up with you once again.